Welcome back to another episode of AFL Unpopular Opinions. I'm Ryan Cook, joining me like they do every single week. It's Tom Rockcliffe, Alistair Lynch, Jack Lindley. Fellas, how are we?
Well, thanks. And I've missed the memo.
I know, again.
Wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
I thought we were sort of going out with Jack protecting the feathers.
Yeah.
And
What have you got to hide here, Lynchy?
Oh,
you haven't brushed it this
No,
morning.
it's
Just got out of bed.
no.
just grey and horrible,
Yeah.
just like wool. You can have some. Or fur.
Very,
It's all fur.
it's like straw.
It is. It's like well, they reckon if you wash it more than once every couple of months, it'll come up better. But nah, it's horrible.
Taking the natural approach, are you?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. The
Very
dreadies.
good. Very good. Rocky, how are we?
Yeah, good, thanks. It was a good weekend of footy in the end. Probably went in thinking it wasn't going to be, but some good games, so it was good.
And the ladder predictor.
Well, it's
They
up to shit,
They
isn't
can
it?
get stuffed.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to do it after every game.
Yeah.
You got to change it again.
I had the Pies going out the bottom and then Brisbane go and lose, and
Yeah.
now they're in trouble.
Yeah. Well, the Hawks were gone.
Yeah.
And, oh, God.
Now
no.
they're
There's going to be
flag favourites.
one good team miss in there.
What, with
Well, yeah.
15 or 14? It could be 14 and a half games or 15 games
Yeah,
misses,
Brisbane could
isn't
go
it?
4.5.
Yeah, you could win. You could end up on 60 points and miss, I think. So whatever
That's
that is.
stiff. I had a quick I had a quick dabble on there, and the Bulldogs have the most points for this season, and they could miss the top 8. And I went online. I couldn't find a season that's comparable in terms of the most points for miss out on the top 8.
It's historic, isn't
incredible.
it? Yeah.
It's historic.
Yeah, so you could miss with 15 wins potentially.
Yeah.
So I got Hawthorn missing with 15 wins at the moment, but
Sticking fat with the Hawks.
well, I don't think. Well, the Dogs' percentage is so good. So they're a chance to leapfrog them, depending on what happens in that last game against Brisbane up here. So anything could happen. Gold Coast are effectively sitting third on the ladder as we speak. So you give them the win against Essendon, which they should roll up and do. Their percentage is strong, so they're effectively jumped to third currently as we sit here. So yeah,
I've got them, I think, on my, and I shouldn't have a ladder predictor because I'm putrid on the tips. I've got them finishing second.
well, this weekend's a big one. If they lose against the Giants, it brings them back to the field. So I don't think there are any certainty or guarantee to win this weekend against the Giants at midday, mind you.
Yeah, that is an early game.
12:30 bounce. Yeah.
12:30, so that might suit them in hot conditions. But then they've got to go down to Adelaide as well in Ken Hinkley and Travis Boak's last game for the footy club. So it's a big ask on a Friday night.
I thought there was a bit of the old Suns come out on the weekend because they should have won that game by about 10 goals, and then the fourth quarter they fall away, which is their old trick year after year.
Well, yeah, which was concerning because they dominated and did everything right and then stopped completely. And they were in danger of losing that halfway through the last quarter.
Yep.
But Carlton went bang, bang, bang and put on really quick goals against them, which I think they kicked 5 in, say, 7 or 8 minutes, which was would be concerning for the Suns. They did enough to win. But it is it's exciting finish for the top 9 teams, even the top 10. Like I know that Sydney's my team.
You've ridden that wave all the way to the beach.
They were pretty good against Brisbane on the weekend.
Pretty good. They were very good.
Yeah.
They were very good. And Brisbane, once again, their traditional issues of missing goals, they convert their opportunities, they win.
Probably. Brisbane, I think you can make an excuse for on the weekend. Obviously, no Lachie Neale there. He can potentially get up this week, I think, from all reports. But
8 premiership players out.
yeah, so 4 of their starting back 6, I would say, weren't there on the weekend. So Starcevic are laid out, Ainsworth, Payne, Leicester. So they did a reasonable job to be that close and almost pinch it. They kicked 3 goals in the last minute.
Do you read too much into that? Like, is that a sign of like a team that's still very, very good, or is it just like they got lucky and kicked some goals in garbage time?
Yeah, like Sydney were the better team and deserved to win that game of footy, but they left the door really open. So, they didn't deserve to win. I didn't think Brisbane there live.
No. I mean, didn't they? They won clearances inside 50s. There was a few stats, missed shots of goals. But I think that last part just reinforces what I think we mostly agree with. Their best is the best. I think, if they can just light it up, but they haven't done it this year. Their best, except for the grand final, is better this year, like with the Baileys and Cam Rayner's coming through, but they're just not consistent.
Just letting the rest of the team down at the moment.
Well, was that issues down back because of lack of continuity, forwards, and we've touched on this a bit over the last 18 months. Charlie Cameron's cold as ice at the moment.
He's gone missing.
You gonna cook him again?
Well, he looks like a shell of himself. Yeah. So I watched him pretty closely on the weekend just to see. He's too busy directing. He's not playing on instinct. So he's out there. He's trying to tell everyone where to go and stand. And maybe he thinks he's the leader now because Joe's not down there. And you've got kids almost around you. Eric Hipwood's a bit older, but there's no real senior player, I wouldn't say, down there. And that's not Charlie's goal, in my opinion. Charlie plays his best on instincts. So he's got to somehow forget that and just go out there and play. Unless the coaches are directing him to do that, which I doubt they would.
You wouldn't imagine so, yeah. He's one of those instinct players. He's not a structural player.
Well, he had, 6 touches, 1 behind for the game. So, he needs to have more output. Cam was really quiet till half time. Rayner, he got a bit busy. Bailey was the same. Bailey was quiet and then kicks a couple and late.
Which was the case the previous week as well.
Yeah. So they're just really inconsistent. But in saying that, I reckon you could mount a case why every team in the top 9 could win the flag and a case for why they couldn't win it. Even potentially, Sydney clearly don't make it now, but they may have opened the window how to beat Brisbane. Get back in numbers and then run and carry by hand.
By hand.
So you take Harris Andrews and these guys out, and their hands were elite. They were flicking it on the last line of defence and went from one end to the other. So they may have exposed Brisbane, how to expose Brisbane the other way.
Did you enjoy Tom McCartan's game?
Yeah, he was.
He was good. Their back 7 were great, and then they launched. They intercepted, then they launched off halfback with that run.
The other guy, and for everyone out there that keeps saying we've got to get rid of academies, be careful what you wish for. Because if you want to get rid of academies, you're not going to have guys like Isaac Heaney running around.
Yeah.
He is a star.
He's just gone up on the whiteboard as the target player for the Devils.
You've been flying this flag for years.
How good is he? He just destroyed that second quarter.
He was stunning everywhere he went, and that's probably the thing that got exposed somewhat because he drifted forward. And he said after the game he was crook as a dog, but he wouldn't have been able to do that.
Coughing over me.
Yeah, I don't think he would have been able to do that if Brisbane's back 6 was set. I think because they had moving pieces to it, he exposed them and no one really accounted for him when he went forward and spat forward, so they didn't hand over really well. But his ability to impact the scoreboard in that front half, that's what Cam Rayner should do. He should go and look at what Isaac Heaney did on the weekend.
Do that, Cam.
Yeah, it's not that hard, mate.
No, we'll take the centre square. It's probably for the coaches more so at Brisbane. Put him in the centre square bounce, then send him to the goal square. He's an impossible matchup.
Well, he was starting in the centre square. That's second and third quarters. He's starting in the centre square. He was just playing forward.
Yeah.
He was there, then just drifting forward. And as you're saying, the handover was terrible. Yeah. So he was by himself at times, and he finished quite well. But he's a very, very exciting player. So great to see. So are you erring on the side of building could you build an argument more for this is the worst season we've seen in recent times or the best season?
I think worst. You can't. It's going to be.
Yeah, so worst, and I get why you say that because the gap is there.
But
we might be going into the best September we've seen for a long time.
Yeah, potentially. Well, even last year you could say that 15 teams could have made finals with 2 to go, 2 or 3 weeks to go. So it was even. It's exciting for the fact that there's so much that's to play out now, and because of the weekend, Fremantle got exposed somewhat. Port Adelaide nearly beat them. Geelong weren't impressive. Adelaide nearly lost to West Coast. They got up in the last 5 minutes.
Yep.
And then if the Crows had lost, it would have been, I think, the first time in history that the top 3 teams had lost going into the round. So
Brisbane couldn't miss, could they?
Well, they could, yeah.
They actually can.
Potentially can.
They couldn't. Sure.
Well, you'd hope not. But one good team's going to miss. So the Giants on your predictor there, they're a good outfit. But if they cough up their last 2 games, so they got Gold Coast this weekend, and then I think they have a decent game in the last
St Kilda.
Oh, so they should beat St Kilda. but that still only gets them to 60 and a low percentage. So
Yeah.
So
it's an exciting finish.
So they got to beat the Gold Coast. That's a huge call for them to beat the Gold Coast. I didn't think they were that good on the weekend. Giants. No, I thought their second quarter was good. I just felt they missed some targets and their run dropped off in the second half against a bottom of the ladder team, basically, North Melbourne.
Yeah, but that's what I think on the weekend, a lot of those top teams that we expected just to roll out, and even Western Bulldogs, like against Melbourne. Melbourne showed why you'd want to coach them for a year, Lynchy.
Yeah.
I think their best is still good enough. So
Well, we haven't even spoken about that because that news broke after we recorded last week. Goody getting the flick.
You writing headlines again, aren't you?
Yeah, he is.
Exactly.
Well, we pretty much said
You've done a little bit this year.
we pretty much said that, didn't we? He was always in a bit of strife. Something was on the nose there for a long period of time. So I think they made a decision, had they sourced the data that they wanted to get, the board, and then made the decision, jumped. Sounds like it's Nathan Buckley's to lose at the moment.
It does sound like it, but
Tassie.
No, well, that's popped up as well. But who's going to make the appointment at Melbourne? Because you got to put a committee together, but you got to have the new chairman, the new CEO.
They've got a lot of interims in place at the moment.
Brad Green's would be in there as someone that's been a part of the sacking of Simon Goodwin. Then probably bring in a consultant to give a different view from outside. But then, mate, there's a number of decisions to make. Do you go for the next Craig McRae, Kingsley, McQualter, Adamuze? So someone that's been in the system for a while, Troy Chapman type, that's been in the system for a while to have his first gig, or are you hell bent on going to Buckley, Adams, Simpson, Longmire? Now Simpson's pulled out this morning, Longmire pulled out last week, but do you want the experienced coach?
I think Chaplin said he doesn't want it.
He did.
He said? Yeah.
Actually, he was impressive.
I thought so too.
He was very impressive. Way he spoke post game as well. Class act. So I think he's put himself in a good position to grab a job at some stage. But that's what you got to decide to start with. You can't just go to a reflex and say, "Well, Buckley's it."
But their whole message has been, we still think we've got the squad to win it all now. Do you bring in that assistant coach if you know you have to win straight away, or is that more of a development move?
Or do you go back to Paul Roos and bring in?
Yeah,
it depends. Because you could potentially say, Danny Daly's name gets floated around as well, which he gets credited and does a lot of the coaching stuff behind the scenes. I think tactical with Chris
he's a
Fagan.
smart footy man,
and then obviously footy manager. So does he want to jump into that? I'd tell him no if it was me. Don't go and see any coach. They all flip. Something happens in their brain.
They go nuts, you reckon?
But yeah, I think they're ready made. I think they've got some young talent coming through. If they can fix what's happened off field and get everyone happy and all in the same direction.
Yeah.
Because you can't have Clayton Oliver potentially wanting to leave 2 years in a row, Christian Petrarca trying to leave. They're right at the edge though. I reckon you've only got 12 months or 24 months with them because Gawn's back end, Viney's back end, Petrarca's still got some good years. Oliver's still got some
Stephen
good
May.
years. Stephen May's at the back end. Lever's at the back end. So you need impact straight away. So do you do a tried coach? Well, I mean, you want – what would you want? You'd want to sign for 3 or 4 years, 5 years. So,
if you're the experienced coach, you've got the ability to ask for. So if a Bucks is going in, you'd say, "Well, I've got to rebuild this as 5 years." If you're essentially a kid in coaching terms, you're not getting any more than 3.
Yeah. So I think they need a ready-made because they can bounce pretty quickly. I think
the Danny Daly one is an interesting one with the Brisbane Lions model, and Danny would be very similar to Fags.
Yeah.
More of the put the arm around type nurturing coach, which might be what they need. But he's not the profile of a Buckley or a Simpson or a Longmire. But
here's one. Would you go for Chris Fagan?
I don't think Chris Fagan. I think Chris Fagan at this stage of his career, once he finishes at the Brisbane Lions, I think he's done.
If you went to him and gave him a Godfather offer and said, "We need you to nurture this group. You've been at Melbourne before. You were there back when Neil Danaher was there. Your family's in Melbourne with your kids and your grandkids. We'll bring you back for 2 years with the idea to understudy someone to come through.
Transition type thing.
We'll give you 2 years. We think we've got a list that can win it.
Now,
There's one for you, Lynchy.
Actually,
And
that's
they've
not
been in
bad.
Joe Danaher's ear as well. So
Bring Joe Danaher's
Team
in. But you potentially bring 1 or 2 with you if you get Fagan there, and then you get, I don't know, someone off contract like a key forward or a key back.
Yep.
They're ready made.
Man, not bad. I like that.
It's an intriguing offer, 100%.
And they would be able to pay. You can pay outside, can't you? Or you can pay up to whatever the soft cap. So they could pay him potentially more than what he's on at Brisbane. Brisbane mutually shake hands at the end and away you go.
But do you want to, if you're Chris Fagan and you're coaching this team at the moment that's in the window and you know, contending for flags, or I want to go back and rebuild a club.
Well, you say you're giving them 2 years. We want you to come in, nurture. So we want you to be impactful straight away, and someone's going to take over in 2 years.
But he might come, but he's coaching the Brisbane Lions.
Yeah,
at the
I know.
moment.
Yeah.
Might
It'd
pick
have
up
to be
another
a
flag.
good offer.
Yeah.
But it's something potentially that could happen.
I like that. You guys spoke about Sydney being a bit of a spoiler team over these next couple of weeks. Can you throw Melbourne in that category? Because they've got Hawthorn and Collingwood coming up.
Yeah, they are. I think Sydney are still this weekend. So you'd see what they did to Brisbane last week. They would have been embarrassed by their grand final performance. The other team that embarrassed them in the grand final was Geelong. So they get a chance this weekend to do that as well. And they're getting somewhere back to their best. So a few upsets, and then Melbourne as well. I think Collingwood are vulnerable. I think everyone's exposed them. Their age demographic, if you can get them on the outside and make them run, they look second rate, and that's what the Hawks did. The small forwards got up the ground and then slingshot them. Impey, Amon got them to the outside and made them run. I think if Melbourne does that, potentially do that. They used to play so well, Melbourne, when they were up and about. They high forwards would get up, replace their wingers, and then slingshot you the other way. So they've got it in them to be able to do that. So Melbourne may upset some along the way.
Collingwood, let's just dive into that a little bit, because the midfield in particular is aging massively. If we put the Dacosses aside, do you think they need to maybe have a look at moving some of those players on?
They've just re-signed Pendlebury, and I know that he still finds the footy in that, but they're going to be old. You keep side bottom as well. How do you top up that list and bring them through? Like, you bring Silvani in as a key back. They're aging all the time. I think they need to rejuvenate that list at some point, but
It'd be a tough call, wouldn't it? So I mean, because he's still playing an important role, Pendlebury.
Yeah.
They're too reliant on Nick Dacos.
Yeah.
I think the move we've seen in recent times of Josh going into the midfield, I think is important to get him in around there.
Well, the balance
Dan
of it
Houston
as well.
hasn't come on.
yeah, he's sort of, which can happen. I reckon he'll be better next year in Houston, just getting used to a new system. But their midfield mix needs to be right. You can't have Mitchell, Long, Pendlebury, Sidebottom in there together. You can have two and then a speedster around it, I think.
Yeah.
It feels like this has sort of just crept up on them quickly. Like 6 weeks ago, we're not really having this conversation, but now we're like, Collingwood's kind of old.
I think everyone knew it.
Round one, they were getting, or opening round or whatever it was, getting smacked for being old and looked underprepared. But yeah, there's been an awareness, but they've been compensated by some of their young, exciting players, and to complement the steadiness of some of their older guys.
Yep.
And I think they, not smart-assy, but they were so far in front, they had the ability to rest a few players and make sure they were primed. And now they've probably found themselves out, and teams have looked at it and gone, well, we can actually expose them here the other way. So I think teams have also started to identify a way to move the footy against them inside 50. You want to almost play through Darcy Moore's man, not allow him to drop off. And the last couple of weeks they've done that, and Logan Morris gets on the end of it, and then on the weekend as well. So I think teams, when you're sitting on top, you go to work on. Everyone wants to be the best, so you go to work on the top team and how they're playing, and identify ways to beat them. And everyone's studied and executing perfectly against them.
And it was reinforced on the weekend with Jeremy Howell going down.
Yeah.
What we've seen over the last 4 weeks, because if Darcy Moore has to play as that defender, key post defender, and stay on his man, Howell's the one that intercepts well. Has a ruling come out on assessment on the Newcomb hit?
Cleared. He was cleared on Friday.
And that makes sense.
Clash.
Yeah, it was a brutal head clash, and I thought the way Newcombe played after he came back on the field, he had a monster game after that. Brutal.
One of his best games for the year, wasn't
100%,
it, I think?
Very, very brave. And
so that was encouraging for Hawthorn.
Yeah, and you said before, Rocky, Lloyd Meek up forward, bit of Mason Cox about him. It was encouraging.
Yeah, he was good, wasn't he? What a massive man, taking some strong marks deep.
Big, strong, thick thing.
Yeah.
Well, just doesn't that reinforce you don't spend a fortune on your ruckman? Just go and pick someone else's ruckman. Get the 25-year-old bloke that's been in the system for a while and wants a crack. We've seen there's plenty of examples all around the league of those guys, like Meek, like Cameron, who's just re-signed for Collingwood as well. So those guys, Sherry was up there for North Melbourne yesterday in Canberra. So, don't pay too much for a ruckman.
Never for a ruckman.
And your boy Witts was good on Saturday against Carlton. So
yeah, well, he's always good.
Yeah.
He's a very, very good player.
Yeah. Let's look ahead to the final round because the fixture came out last week. We've got the times locked in, and it's looking like a couple of those games are going to be pretty crucial. Hawks against the Lions and then Dogs against Fremantle. First thoughts, are we happy with the way the AFL sort of figured this thing out with the way they put certain games at certain times, or do you want to go on a rant here for us, Rocky?
Well, not really. It's always a tricky one because Essendon and Gold Coast have got to back up on the Wednesday night to get that game that didn't go ahead. So you've got a Thursday night going into the last round, Essendon versus Carlton. What a shocking way to start the round. But then you've got you've got Collingwood and Melbourne, so there's implications there, which I think's good on a Friday night.
Yep.
But they haven't gone standalone Friday night; they've gone the double header again. So,
and that's because they've got to get the Suns away.
Gold Coast have to play, otherwise they wouldn't be able to back up. Yeah. So I understand that. I probably, selfish point of view, would have liked a standalone for Travis Boak's last game at Port Adelaide. I hate the time slot of 7:20 on Sunday night. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair on the fans. There's no public holiday or anything like that. If you wanted to watch one of your teams, you're effectively saying it's a TV game because if you can't travel interstate for that, there'll be no flight to get home if you have to work on the Monday. So I don't like that standpoint. I don't think they should do that.
At least what they have done, where we were blowing up a couple of weeks ago with the overlap games on the Sunday, at least they've spread them out so you can watch each one. But yes, you're right. It is a TV game, that last one.
It's fine if it was like that at the start of the year, but with 2 weeks' notice, I don't think it's fair.
No.
So for Hawks fans or even Brisbane fans that are travelling from Melbourne or whatever, I think 2 weeks' notice and put it at 7:20 is not fair.
Yep.
So that could be another one of those elimination finals.
Yeah, exactly.
Or qualifying final. The Brisbane Hawthorn game.
Yeah.
And the Bulldogs Freo.
Well, the Giants as well. So if the Giants lose to Gold Coast, they're going to have to win that game to finish on 60 points to give themselves a sniff.
The ladder predictors going nuts on the Sunday.
It'll be the live ladder.
So Rocky, you've put the pen through the Hawks for the whole season.
No, well, I put a pen through the Dogs a couple of weeks ago, and I still think they're probably the.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, their defence is still the issue, and it was proven again against. If you're conceding 100 points or close to 100 points to Melbourne, which is what they've done all year, that is still a concern up against the best teams in the comp.
Well, they're going to roll out this week, belt West Coast. Percentage isn't an issue for them, but then Fremantle...
Are they going to belt West Coast? West Coast were actually all right.
West Coast were better, but they got belted the week before against Melbourne, so you get up for the last game, second last home game, and then... Yeah, it's an exciting finish.
And we'll be doing the Wednesday Gold Coast. What?
I'm going down to Melbourne.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Legends game.
Oh, you're playing the Legends game?
Yes.
Oh, so announcement?
Huge.
I don't know if they've announced it yet, but I'm actually playing for the Allies.
Oh, why? Because country Victoria.
Couldn't get me in. Well,
Port Adelaide and Brisbane heritage?
Well, I was born in Lismore, which is northern New South Wales.
Rightio.
So I don't know where it's
5 minutes there.
2 years there, 16 years in Victoria, but then, obviously Brisbane, Adelaide, back to Brisbane. So.
Nice. So tell us about that. So that's not going head-to-head with the Gold Coast Essendon game, is it?
No, it's on the Thursday night, so I'm flying down on the Wednesday.
Prepping, are you?
Yeah, a few meetings, business meetings.
I can imagine the prep for that game.
So you're taking the Essendon time slot Thursday night game.
Yeah, I know.
Wowee.
I tell you, that Thursday night will be more exciting than the Thursday night of SMV Cup.
There might be just as many injuries as well.
Yeah, there could be. Could potentially be. So the other thing about, we've got to speak about Essendon. So what's going on at Essendon? I've seen it.
Mate.
Yeah, Jack, what's going on at Essendon?
Potentially, if Draper is on the move, like they've lost, they continue to lose talent, and I know they've had injury concerns, but if they continue to let talent walk out the door.
I think there's a lot of pressure from these players as well. It could be a mass exodus because the club just hasn't shown anything in the last 3 years to give them faith in remaining there, especially when there's phone calls coming in from Brisbane Lions and such. It's like, it's a tough one. It's been a tough year as an Essendon fan in general, and there isn't really anything to look forward to. There's no light at the end of the tunnel at the moment.
Well, that's where when you're rebuilding, you need everything to go right with your injury rate, and that's compounded the issues. And so if players like Merritt lose hope, they might just go and finish somewhere else. It'd be terrible. That'd be up there with the Nazis sort of leaving St Kilda sort of thing.
They get away with
if you're recruiting, you got to sell a project,
Well, that's the thing that they get away with a little bit, I reckon, Essendon. The talent that they've let out the door, Voss they let walk, Massimo at Hawthorn. Like, they let good players leave, and if they do it with Draper and a couple of others as well, there's no hope there at all for Essendon supporters.
They'd hate watching the Giants games over the last 7 weeks and see Jakey Stringer running around putting on a clinic.
Yeah. But then it's the young guys coming through watching these senior guys just go abandon the club, and they think, well, that's fine. I'll just serve my time and then find a better contract.
It's always felt to me like the club's more focused on the younger players coming through than what you actually have right now. Would that be right?
Well, it's the easy way to just kind of sell it to the fans. Like, look at these young guys coming through. Like, give us some more time. Give us some more time. Oh, we've just drafted 3 guys in the top 10. That we're going to need some more time. It's an easy sell for an organisation, and they're just not taking responsibility. So, just keep the Thursday night games going.
Baby Bombers.
Jeez, they can't afford to lose players.
No.
It'll set them back even further. It might be 40 years. We might be sitting here in 20 years.
Once we get Lynchy in for his 6-year coaching contract.
He did say that.
No, I reckon it'd be. It's less exciting if a bunch of experienced players walk out the door. But I think it'd be exciting to get that club up and going.
Before we get out of here, we've come to learn over the last couple of weeks that our man Lynchy's a diehard NFL man. Loves a bit of Tom Brady, and the GOAT got a statue put up out the front of Gillette Stadium over the weekend.
Oh, did he?
And it just got me thinking about AFL statues. And there's a whole page on Wikipedia dedicated to I think there's about 25 statues overall, maybe 30 across the country. No real Brisbane Lions ones though. So I was just curious to see what you guys thought. Who would be the one to go up out the front of the Lions' future venue?
At Vic Park, the Olympic Stadium.
Yeah.
There's got to be a Michael Voss statue, doesn't there?
Over Brownie?
Well, I think so. Premiership captain and multiple All-Australian, spent the majority of his life in Queensland. No, I would think that'd be a reasonable starting point.
Yeah.
I mean, Barney. Well, the pig, like, hasn't he just been elevated into the Sports Hall of Fame? I mean, he's been a super ambassador for Queensland and AFL footy. But maybe, I think I'd have Voss there first as a first statue.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Lee Matthews statues everywhere, so probably don't need another one of those.
He's got plenty.
He's got plenty.
Acker doing the hands there.
Would you send your measurements in?
They could.
Lynch?
You could.
Yeah, I reckon we're in the conversation.
You're a Premiership captain, are you?
No. I resigned.
Weren't you up there?
No. Oh, yeah. So when I resigned as captain, they said they'll get me up as... No, I don't know whether they even said it. But, yeah, the second year, 2002, Vossi called me
you
up to grab the cup as well. So no, I wasn't Premiership captain. I'm not in that conversation.
I think you might be.
And the
You're in the top 3.
The measurements, you'd have to get them periodically because they change a lot.
Well, the statue with a hat on.
Simon Black could potentially be as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he
reckon
flies
that's a
under the
shout.
radar. If he played for a Melbourne club, you'd have one, I reckon.
Yeah.
I hear you got some nice new glasses, Lynchy. You could have them on.
No, yeah.
Slide the glass up.
I only need them when I want to see.
What was Blackie? 2 or 3-time All-Australian, 3 flags, Brownlow.
I reckon top 2 in the Brownlow
Second twice?
Yeah, a couple of times.
And games holder.
Yeah.
He may lose that. Zorko may get him, but
And born Mount Isa.
yeah. So probably I would say one of those 2. I reckon. Voss or Black.
Handy CV.
But I think, there's something worth doing, I would have thought, with the new stadium.
Yeah.
Got to recognise the major contributors, and certainly the Brisbane Lions over a long period of time have done that.
Do you think we wait too long to put up statues? Because Brady's sort of in like that rare category where you're getting a statue while you're still alive. You don't see that very often with athletes.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of clubs do it wrong as well. They should, like, life memberships and stuff like that should be given when they're still alive and stuff like that. So I think, or elevate them into the Hall of Fame, because there's no point. Well, there is a point, obviously, doing it when they pass, but why not have them there to celebrate it? Why not have them there to open it? I think it's important to do it when they're still alive.
And probably case in point is the Robert Walsh Trophy for Brisbane Carlton games. There was probably an opportunity to do something like that a little bit earlier.
Well, it's like Shane Warne's stand putting it at MCG after he passes.
Yep.
Do it when he's alive.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. So I reckon I'm with you. I'd do it once they've finished their career. They're not going to add to that.
Yeah.
You know what they've achieved.
Yeah.
Why not do it
Talking
straight away?
about stands, who would get named in the stands at the new Vic Park?
Well, it'd be a combination of cricket tenants, wouldn't it?
Don't worry about them.
Don't worry about them.
No. Adelaide Oval's got a few.
Yeah. Adelaide.
Don't worry about
Adelaide
them.
Oval's got stands.
AB?
No, we're talking AFL.
Yeah.
Right,
So
So Mark Rashudo's got his stand.
Yeah.
Rashudo, Wanganeen, there's a couple there. So let's go number 1 defender, Brisbane, up until, say, the stadium opens in 2030. 32 it's going to open, but we'll go with what we have now. So you've got to pick 1 defender, 1 midfielder, 1 forward to name the stands after.
I like this.
Yeah, that's great.
Well,
Brownie.
Brown, Voss, and again, Big Mal Mike was
Mal
that
Mike.
the grandstand.
Chris Johnson.
Any current players you think could be?
Well, Harris Andrews potentially.
Lachie Neale.
Premiership captains.
Couple of Brownlows
Well,
there.
Lockie.
Yeah.
The only thing Lockie's hasn't been as long. Where Harris Andrews, he's probably
And
going
the
to play
Queensland kid, yeah.
300 academy kid, and Lockie's CV's probably hasn't. I mean, it's going to look good when he's finished, but it's not all at Brisbane.
Heard this talking about those players. Pick a combined team between the 2 premiership teams.
Ooh.
Brisbane 2001.
Eric Hipwood.
You've done it already.
Oh, hey.
That's a cheap shot.
Charlie Cameron already doesn't listen to us. Now Eric Hipwood.
Yeah.
Whack. Cut that out, Rich.
So, someone tossed that up last week somewhere. Yeah. What current players in that premiership team from last year would make the 2001? Now, different eras, that's really difficult, but it'd be interesting.
Like Lachie Neale, who does he push out of the team?
Well,
Yeah,
he doesn't push out Black.
He doesn't push out Voss. Nigel Lappin on the wing.
My goodness.
Jeez.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting project to see what you do. And probably, where's your bias?
Well,
your bias goes for 20 years ago, does it? Or is it recency bias?
I think you always go history. Like I look at Brisbane 01, 2 and 3 as the best team of all time.
Yeah.
I still think that they're better than Geelong, Hawthorn, and people would argue that they could be right. But I look at...
You reckon is that because you were a kid coming through and you're looking at the best team of that era when you're in your teenage years?
But you just go through that team and you're like superstar, 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 star, superstar, star, superstar, superstar, super. There was imagine going to that as a defender, walking down to that forward line. I go, I've got to take Alistair Lynch today. Nah, I've got to take Jonathan Brown.
Yeah,
I've got to take Jason Ackermanis. Nah,
Bradshaw.
Bradshaw. And then you, as a key forward, you see the defence walking at it. have I got Mel Michael today? Please don't do it. Oh no, Justin Leffy just coming to me. Oh no, Chris Johnson's going to whack me. No, Darryl White. Like,
that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
It'd be fascinating to see.
We might have to wait till this window closes for the current lines.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I think that's right. But you've got some players there that are going into the Hall of Fame. I mean, Lockie Neal goes into the Hall of Fame.
Well, he has to go on the ground or at least be on the bench in your team.
Yeah.
He has to.
He has to be.
Yeah, he's named somewhere.
But again, that era, I think, imagine going to a midfield and going, oh no, Voss, Black, Luke Power, Nigel Lappin, there's stars
Darryl White,
It's so I still look at that team as unbelievable. But there'd be a couple that you'd squeeze in and squeeze out, but there'd be so many stiff blokes to miss.
So Andrews, Lockie Neal.
Zorko has to nearly go in.
And Zorko, he'll be a Hall of Famer, won't he?
Yeah.
Has to be.
300 games, 4 BNFs or something silly in Premiership. He's got to be a Hall of Famer. So you've got these guys where you've put them in somewhere.
Just isolating the flag itself, you got Joey Danaher, that final series, to get the lines there. That was quite... Can you squeeze him in there?
Oh, hang on.
It's not all about Essendon.
What are you suggesting?
You're trying to get Lynch
out.
Sorry, mate. The statue's been scrapped. Logan Morris is getting
good
first.
point. Yeah.
Well, by the time he finishes, because
better pick it now.
Are you taking him over their career? Because you'd take Brownie over his career, where he was only young then. Like Logan Morris, by the end of his career, you could say could be starting key forward in the combined teams.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to stipulate what is it? It's at the time of the 2001 Premiership and the 24 Premiership in that team.
Yeah, but everyone's got elevated post that, I would say.
Yeah.
So, like, some players might not have had massive games in the grand final.
Yeah.
So
I think you just have to pick one of the years of the three-peat compared to the Brisbane Lions
probably
flag.
The easiest way,
Those two teams, you combine them.
Yep.
Because you're going off history, if you know what I mean. So it's the same as the All-Australian team. Like, people that say, it's Max Gawn's ruck position to lose. Well, it's not. Everyone's starting on 0.
Supposedly.
But they don't.
Supposedly, that's right.
So,
anyway, there's a project for you.
Maybe we get the list.
Well, I think the commenters will have a few things to say about that. Talking about the ruck, just before we get out of here, Brodie Grundy with that stinger. You boys saw that one firsthand on the weekend?
Yeah, so he's gone into concussion protocol, so he probably won't play. Maybe the last game he will. He was a bit quiet on the weekend compared to his previous 8 weeks.
We knew something was up, didn't we? When he's walked past me after he finally got off the ground, and he's given the umpire half a cook. And you thought, well, that's a bit odd. He must be struggling because he gave the boundary umpire half a cook. You think, well, he's not making any calls.
Yeah.
So,
Can you repeat what he said or not?
No.
Speaking of big hits in that game, there was a bit of a brawl in the crowd. Did you catch any of that? Yeah.
So they took him onto the ground to kick him out. So there's 2 Sydney fans, a bloke and a lady got kicked out after the punch-ons all over the Courier Mail today, I think, the video of it. But, they escorted him onto the ground. So the players were walking off and the cops had people in handcuffs walking them past.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't condone fighting, but it's good to see a bit of passion.
No, it's not. You can't be having a stink.
Any good stinks from your day that you remember in the stands? Probably not.
Nah, Lynchy would have. They would have back in the day, but I don't remember.
I can't recall any, but Prince's Park in the wet area, I'm sure there would have been a few.
Did you interact with fans much in playing days? Could you hear a bit of feedback from the sidelines?
You could hear them. I could. I played in front of like 8,000 people a few times at the Gabba, so you could hear everyone.
And a pin drop.
Mum and Dad giving you
the old man going, not again, Tom.
No, I used to get some flack. But, I mean, and most of it just sort of just went straight over your head. But I can't even recall what, but sometimes you'd hear something half amused and you go, yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But, I remember, I think my second game was at Vic Park or one of my early games, so Vic Park against Collingwood, and coming out of the wire race getting some enormous feedback about my lack of ability.
What about taking a set shot from the pocket or something like that and you're on the fence? Do you recall any?
again.
Does it get into your head at all?
No, it was a bit of a drone because it's just abuse.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, well, that's fine. You're used to that. But occasionally you hear something quite comical.
Yeah, it's funny. People go, oh, who was the best sledger in that? Or what did you hear that was really funny? I forget most of it. Like, I'm sure there was a lot of it, but you just get accustomed to it, I think. So, like, you get abused by the crowd. There's no doubt in that.
No, that's right. That's right. Yeah. It's almost like if you didn't get abused, you think, oh, hang on, I can't be going much good. It's like when you go out and the second best offender comes to you.
Oh,
you go, oh, what?
Take that personally.
Yeah, absolutely you do.
The one I used to like, so I did it to Viney. I'd call him Jake the whole game.
Yeah.
Instead of Jack. Just to get in there to say, like, I think it's all time when you stuff someone's name up. Like, you go to them, like,
Or introduce yourself at the start.
Yeah. Like, imagine
meet you,
Lynch getting called Alan all day or something like that. Like,
it would annoy.
What is your first name again?
Doesn't even know who I am. Like,
G'day, young fella. Congratulations on your first game.
Took you about 2 months to learn my first name.
Sorry, Robert.
What is your name?
Robert.
Brian.
You keep calling our producer Rich Dick. That might do us for today, boys.
Right on, gents.
Yep.
Thank you, Rocky. Thank you, Lynchy. Thank you, Jack.
Very good.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Rich.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website